nERD bOX.
Welcome back to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional, where today's show we are going to review Disney's version of the Joker. You heard me right. We're going to talk about Cruella. So fire up the Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth. Cruella is the 15th, that's right, 15th live-action remake from their archives. And it's the 12th if you nix the sequels. It's directed by Craig Gillespie, who you may know from the Fright Night remake, and is tied to the upcoming docuseries on Netflix, Pam and Tommy, with another Disney guy in it.
That's a switch.
Yeah.
Fright Night and Pam and Tommy and Cruella?
Yeah.
That's interesting. The movie stars Emma Stone, who I adore, as Estella, a.k.a. Cruella, Emma Thompson as the Baroness, Joel Fry as Jasper. We talked about him recently. He was in another movie we just saw.
His name was Martin.
It was Martin. Paul Walter Hauser as Horace, and if you know the name or don't, he was actually in the Richard Jewell movie. And then there's Marc Strong as John the Valet, and Marc Strong is most notably known, I think, for being in The Kingsman. Estella is a creative child with a flair for fashion who has a cruel streak, leading her mother, Catherine, to nickname her Cruella.
Stella's behavior forces her mother to have to move, hoping to go to London. And in order to do this, she has to seek out help from this woman. And she goes to this lavish party for help when tragedy strikes. Catherine is pushed over a balcony by 3 Dalmatians that are charging at her and jump on her. And watching in the distance is Estella. That explains a lot if you think about it.
Definitely.
Estella, who is maybe no more than, 8 years old, 9 years old, she flees to the city, where she has no one to go to, no place to live, until she meets a young Jasper and Horace that take her in.
So we fast forward 10 years, and Estella, Jasper, and Horace are now petty thieves in the punk rock revolution of London, but she still wants to follow her dream in the fashion industry. Estella is soon discovered by the fashion queen of London, the Baroness. As their relationship grows, so do surrounding events that lead Estella to become the villain, Cruella.
So, what did you think of this?
So, I really enjoyed it. I think that I would have enjoyed it had I seen it just as an adult and not taking my 2 12-year-old daughters to see it.
What?
I love Disney movies.
So why are you going to kick your daughters out of it?
But I'm saying I could have seen it on my own and still enjoyed myself. I thought it was really good. Emma Stone was amazing. I think she's amazing in any role that she does, really. I think she can play many different, she can wear a lot of hats, I think. And
yeah, definitely.
Emma Thompson, equally as great, and, she's done other children's movies. She actually was Nanny McPhee. And, of course, she's done many other things in her life, and she really stands out. She was amazing as the Baroness. She definitely pulled off being a psycho. And I loved Horace and Jasper. I think they played off of each other really well. They were very comical. And I really like Marc Strong, too. The guy who plays the valet. He's always good. He was my favorite character in the Kingsman movies. And he was easily one of my favorite characters in this movie, too.
Now, going into this, there's been a series of live-action movies that have come out as of late.
Yeah.
They're not really all that great. Like, Maleficent 1 and 2, Cinderella was okay.
I like Cinderella.
Then you have Mulan, and Disney's just pumping them out to get them out there to make a buck.
Yeah. I think they're hit or miss.
It's a business. They got to make money. They got to retell the stories. You know, how many kids today are probably want to see the classics on the big screen, so they have to do something different.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Definitely.
This movie, when it was announced, I was like, okay. And then I found out that Emma Stone was attached. It's like, oh, definitely want to see it.
She was what made me want to see it as well. I mean, I was kind of iffy. Do I want to? Do I just wait till it comes out on video or onto a streaming site? But then I was like, oh, it's Emma Stone. Okay, I'll pay the money. I'll go see it.
Now, growing up, there was a bunch of movies that I watched as a kid, and 101 Dalmatians was one of them. Alice in Wonderland was another one, and Sleeping Beauty, too. So those are the three that I kind of hovered around movie-wise. And getting a chance to see this in live action, to see how it was going to be retold, I was kind of excited for it, other than having the Emma Stone, because I think Cruella de Vil is probably the best villain that Disney has out there, you know, prior to some of the later series that came out. So I was definitely looking forward to that, and it was a fun movie.
It was.
It had a lot of attitude to it.
Yes.
And like I said, you know, if Disney was to make a movie about the Joker, this is it. There's a lot of parallels that you'll see in this movie to the Joker. It's a darker tone than what we've seen in the other movies. The origin story, anti-hero, villain, you don't kind of know. You know, it's wherever you want to sit with this character as she's developing.
And there's even makeup.
There's even makeup.
So,
and I think if this movie would have came out maybe 20 years ago, it'd be even bigger than it's probably going to be right now because of all the attitude it brought. It almost reminded me of the Attitude Era of wrestling, the way some of the scenes were done. And I really liked it because of that.
Yeah, I think that they put a lot of really good elements into it, especially with it being the punk rock revolution in London. So a lot of really, really good designs as far as the clothing goes. And I actually really enjoyed the music that they decided to play on the film. I really liked the soundtrack.
Soundtrack was good. This movie relied too heavily on music in the movie.
It was the punk rock revolution.
Punk rock revolution, right? We're doing punk rock songs with newer artists. It doesn't fit. And that really stood out for me. I even said something to you in the theater. It's like, this music doesn't really go. It was too much of it. There were scenes that had music that didn't call for it.
I thought that they did call for the music. I thought it fit really well.
I think if you take out half of the songs from this movie, it's a lot better than it is. And it's a good movie.
I think the movie still would have worked without some of the songs. But I liked the songs in the movie. I thought that it worked.
The ending, Black Sabbath's Iron Man, and Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil, mashed together.
They didn't mash it. They went from one song into the other. They didn't mash it. They didn't, put the two songs together. They went from one song, and then they stopped it, and they went into another.
They didn't stop it. It was the opening for Iron Man, and then it was the Rolling Stones song after
I think you misheard it.
Nope.
Later.
Now, that kind of took away from it, and that's going to reflect in my rating later. But how about the guy that played Horace, Paul? I think he steals the movie.
Horace was so funny.
He was excellent. I think he really stole the movie. And I liked Richard Jewell when he was in that movie as well. He has a lot of charisma that he brings to the screen, and he kind of steals almost every scene that he's in.
He does have a lot of charisma, and just one little thing, you get to see him in a dress in this movie. That was pretty funny. But he really brings a lot to the movie as far as comic relief. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he is.
He really is. And you don't see a whole lot of that when he's plays Richard Jewell, because of course that was based on a true story and it was a tragedy. But he's super funny. Yeah. He really is. And I think that him and Joel Fry played really well off of each other.
Everybody killed in this movie.
They bounced well off of each other, all of them. There was a lot of really good comedy, and then there was a lot of dry comedy, the dry humor, which I really enjoy.
this is truly a movie for all ages. So,
It is.
the kids are going to enjoy it. The adults are going to enjoy it as well. What is your rating?
My rating is a B+.
B+. That's a good rating. So the music took away from it for me. It would have gotten a higher rating if they reduced...
The music made me give it a higher rating.
Look, when you watch the movie, let us know what you think about all the music in it.
Any 80s fans? There was a lot of 80s songs.
Again, 70s punk revolution.
I
not
don't
the
care.
80s.
3 days later.
As I mentioned with Army of the Dead, the music factors into my rating. So this brings it down to a B. I think it could have been an A if they took out some of the music, because I was thoroughly entertained.
I would have probably given it closer to an A-. Yes, actually, because the music didn't match with the year that we were in.
Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to see what else is coming out. So, until the next. Catch you later.
See ya.